already reaching 63 participants. So hopefully I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to be talking about cocktails. One of my favorite topics, and of course something that you people also might be interested in. And this was one topic that was left, we couldn't complete practically also because of the coronavirus thing. So what are cocktails? Let's go through the definition first. Just a second, let me see how many people can be accommodated more. Okay. By the end of the session, you will be able to learn what is a cocktail. Most of you might come across many things, many drinks that can be defined as a cocktail. And if we talk of it, the cocktail by definition is a drink that is composed of at least 2 or more ingredients, of which one has to be alcohol, and which can be shaken, stirred, or blended and served either as a tall or a short drink. So anything that has got alcohol in it, it can be termed as a cocktail. So going to the next slide, will give you a little bit of idea. What are the basic ingredients that you are going to be using for making of a cocktail? It has to have a base, which can be in the form of a beer, a spirit, or a wine. It can be a soft beverage such as juices or aerated drinks. There can be different ingredients such as syrups, crushes, or cordials. How do we define a syrup or a crush? Anything that has got a sugar syrup or a sugar base added to it, it's going to be called as a syrup or a crush or a cordial. Then you have ice. Ice is the most important ingredient that we use in a cocktail, and it's one of the most important ingredients that goes first, because if when you're going to make a cocktail, you have to be very, very careful that the cheapest ingredients go in first and the bases in the end. So you start off with ice, then you give the second cheapest, then the third, and the alcoholic beverage in the end. So what happens is, when you're going to be doing this, if there is some ingredient that is not necessarily might based that is going to be into the cocktail. Then we have different condiments. Anything that's apart from bases, your soft beverages, syrups, and ice. Why are they called condiments? Because condiments are going to be used in various given sauces. You have pepper, you have Tabasco sauce, you have Worcestershire sauce, and so forth and so forth, henceforth. Then you have sugar and the syrups that are made accordingly. You have white and brown sugar, and you can use powder sugar also. Then there are certain syrups that are made, home syrup being one of it, the sugar syrup. The garnishes, lemons and other fruits that are used for the preparation of cocktails is garnishes have to be. Excuse me. Just a second, please. Hold on, the internet is a bit wonky. Just a second. Please just wait. I'm just having a look at my internet. So coming back to the sugar syrup, the sugar can be converted into syrup, or it can be used whole. Like sugar syrup is used in most of the cocktails. We have to mix a little bit. And if we take the example of, let's say, mojito, M-O-J-I-T-O, the pronunciation is mojito. Then what happens is we are going to use cane sugar. The cane sugar is going to be either in the form of white or brown. And this sugar, if it is a part of the ingredients, then only it's going to be used whole. Otherwise, the syrup, sugar in the form of the syrup is going to be used. Garnishes. What are garnishes used for? I hope by now everybody is aware of the use and the preparation of garnishes. They have to be fresh, and they have to be freshly made. They have to be edible. They have to be natural, and nothing in the form of, let's say, plastic umbrellas, or maybe your straw will not constitute a garnish. Then the most other important things that are used in the bar, they can be termed as dairy products. Your cream, milk, and your poultry products also. Eggs are also used in the preparation of cocktails. Glassware. You are going to have loads and loads of cocktail glasses that are going to be used in the bar. If we talk of some of them, shot glass, I'll show you if you are able to. It's a small glass. The measure can be 20 to 90 ml. So this is termed as a shot glass. The drink is going to be in this glass is going to be just 60 ml, 45 to 60 ml, and it's going to be had in one go. Then we have pony tumbler. It's very similar to your old fashioned. Old fashioned is a glass in which your whiskeys are being served, but a pony tumbler is going to have it's going to be a little bit smaller than this, and normally drinks that constitute of a lot of juices are going to be used in the pony tumbler. And a roly-poly, the measure is going to be as good as an old-fashioned, but it's going to be a little bit round in shape. Old-fashioned, or it's also called the rock glass. Then you have a highball glass. What I'm showing you is a form of glassware that is termed as a crystal. So this is a highball glass. Normally what happens, the cocktail by the name of highball, it goes into this glass. Then you have various gin beverages, gin cocktails that go into this glass. This is one of the most favored glass for serving cocktails because it won't fill up the guest also, but apart from it, it is going to have a very standard size of a cocktail. Then we have a Collins glass. It's a bit larger than the highball glass. Your Collins, your tall drinks like your Pina Coladas, or your let's say Long Island iced tea. These glasses are used for serving your tall drinks. And then we have Pilsner. Pilsner is tall beer glass, but this can also be used for serving of various cocktails, tall cocktails that are the measure is a little bit higher than the highball, but this is one glass that is also preferred for the service of cocktails. Zombie is a glass that is a bit larger than your Collins glass. There are certain more glasswares. This is another form of a highball glass. Then your beer tankard. And there is one more glass which is termed as a bock glass. This is used for serving your German beers. Apart from that, then we have certain stem glasses, sherry glass, liqueur glass. These are small glasses. Even your liqueur can be served in your shot glasses as well. If they are going to be served on the rocks or in frappe, they are going to be served in your martini glass. But apart from that, just hold on to your certain people to enter. You have champagne saucer. I'm afraid I won't be able to show that, but we have a champagne tulip. Again, the purpose being your cocktails like mimosa, they can be served in a champagne tulip. Your cocktails that are going to have champagnes as an ingredient of the main cocktail is going to be served in a champagne tulip or a champagne saucer. Then you have different wine glasses. Another one, all-purpose wine glass. Then you have a brandy balloon as well. Depending upon the cocktail, the various glassware can be used. I'll just do one thing. I'll unmute you, and if you have any question, then we can go through them. One by one, let me hand. Yes, Rohan. Something to ask?
No, sir.
It's clear at the moment?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Anyone, just say your name and then we can proceed. Then we can, if anybody has got any doubts, any clarifications till now.
No, sir.
Something?
No, sir. No.
It's clear as of now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll suggest that whatever we are talking of, you jot it down, because it's as far as I'm concerned, it's not possible for me to conduct practicals from this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So we move ahead from the glassware. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is the various equipments that are used in the bar. Equipment is very important part of any operation, whether you're working in a kitchen or you're working, let's say, in the housekeeping department or the front office. If you don't have proper equipment, it's not possible for anyone as such to work in the specific working area. So there are two type of equipments that we are going to be using as far as the bar is concerned. So the first one being the equipment is divided into two parts. One is the fixed equipment, and second is your movable equipment. We are short of time. I've got only 10 minutes to go. What we are going to do, I've created another link for the second part of the session, which will be starting off at 3:15. The link for that is going to be shared in some time. By that time, hopefully, we are going to be able to go through the equipment part of it. So the fixed equipment, if we talk of the refrigerators, which can be see-through refrigerators, or they can be the refrigerators that are under the counter, or the refrigerator that is only meant for the use by the bartender. Then we have the ice machine. Ice machine is necessarily going to be the machine that is going to be preparing the ice. You were being shown the ice machine. It is meant for preparation of ice cubes. Ice is very important ingredient as far as the bar is concerned, or preparation of the cocktails is concerned. Your ice also needs to have some characteristics. It has to be clear. It doesn't have to be cloudy. The water being used for the preparation of ice has to be totally chemical and your any mineral free. Otherwise, the ice that is going to come through is going to be quite cloudy. And the next is ice crusher. This is there are different types of ice being used. One is the cube ice, one is the crushed ice. Crushed ice will come out of this equipment. Then there is shaved ice. There is difference between that. Crushed ice is going to be an ice that is consisting of small crystals of ice, whereas shaved ice is going to be the ice that has minute particles of the minor particles of the ice. Then you have the speed rail, the working tables, the overhead glass rack for hanging of your stemmed glassware. Then you have working table, which is normally you have already done bar operations. Hopefully, the bar consists of three parts: the front bar, the under bar, and the back bar. The working table, as far as for the bartender is concerned, it is going to be the underbar. Underbar is going to be that area where the bartender is going to be working. So this is a working table, or it is termed as an underbar. Then you have the speed rail. Speed rail is one part of the equipment that consists of a niche which contains the fast-moving beverages or the alcohols, also known as the house brands or the call brands. The house brands or the call brands are the brands that are used for preparation of cocktails, first of all. And if some guest comes in and he asks for a drink to be poured and doesn't specify the brand that he would like to have, what happens? The call brands are going to be served. After that, you are going to be having the water sink. It is multi-purpose. If the water that is coming through the taps is potable, then it is used for serving of drinks as well. And apart from that, what happens is for the washing of your glassware, the bartender has to be multi-skilled. It's not possible for a well-operating bar to wait for the glasses to come to the bar counter and to serve the drinks. The rotation of the glasses have to be prompt and fast. For that, the bartender has to be working on the bar himself. Then you have the juice machine. If fresh juices are being served, normally what happens is the seasonal juices are served fresh. Otherwise, tinned or canned juices are used in the bar counter. Tea and coffee machine, another important aspect. In India, the consumption of tea and coffee is much more than the alcohol. And it is always suggested if you're going to be having some kind of service happening, tea and coffee is one thing that has to be always there. So tea and coffee also gives you good profit margins. So preferably tea and coffee is going to be there, and if you are serving alcoholic coffees, tea and coffee machine is always handy for pouring fresh coffees for the alcoholic coffees as well. Of course, the billing machine, the point of sales, and the glass washing. The glass washing machine normally is in the back area of the bar, and if the crowd is too much, then the glass washing is done on a frequent and a regular basis. But if one or two glasses are only going to be there, then it's going to be washed by the bartender itself. We have Karan Bhatt who wants to ask something. So let's see. Yes, Karan.
No, sir. It was actually by mistake that hand signal was, and it was done 5 to 10 minutes back. So I'm really sorry for that, sir.
No problems at all. Okay. But it is preferred if you have anything to ask, you can raise your hand.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, just a second. Okay. Now, when we talk of the movable equipment, that is one thing we बहुत ज़्यादा काम करा रहा है आज यार. This is something called, this is the blender, a very basic one, and the basic brands that the blenders come in, the commercial blenders come in, that is your RoboCoupe. Then there are a lot of brands commercially that are asked for. India mostly are using Sujata. It's a good blender, but not a blender that can be used for presentation or in a bar where the equipment is in view. Then we have second movable equipment. See, there are a lot of drinks that are going to be prepared. So when we talk of, we have shaken drinks also. This is one of the cocktail shakers. It has got three parts. One is the glass, second is the strainer, and third is the lid. So this is the Hawaiian Shaker, very easy and very commonly used. Then you have the Boston Shaker. Boston Shaker consists of two glasses. One is small and the other one is large one. And the drink is to be prepared and all the ingredients are poured into the bigger glass, covered here, and then the shake is given. This is how the, very easy to remember, B is the second letter of the alphabet. Boston has two parts. Hawaiian has three parts. So this is one of the shakers that we are going to be using in the bar. Then you have pour spouts. This is one of the pour spouts. A wider mouth and a long thin spout. The thin spout is meant for the air to go in so that the drink is easily poured. In the next session, I'll tell you how this thing is going to help you pour the drink. It is then another assisting equipment is your Hawthorne strainer. Consists of the strainer and a spring. And the spring, this is very important part of the bar, very important bar equipment. The spring here is helps us to remove the pips out of the drinks that contain pips of citrus fruits. Then we have peg measures. Peg measures, normally in India, the measure that is taken as a standard is 60 ml, the large side, and 30 ml. So one peg measure is going to solve the purpose for both the things. Then we have the ice scoops. Ice scoops are used for taking the ice out of your ice bins and pouring into the drink. It is not suggested that you are going to be using your hands for pouring the ice. Then we have the bar spoon. It is long handled. This can be used for many purposes. If you have to pour a drink slowly into your cocktail, this is a little bit twisted so that the drink flows. This can be used for that as well. Otherwise, it is used for stirring the drink, long handle. Then you have knives. Normally, small knives are used in the bar along with your chopping board. So this chopping board is used, a small chopping board, not the size of the kitchen as such, and small knife. Then you have a wine opener, which can be of this type. It has got support, the spring, and your knife to remove your foil from the wine bottles. Then you have the muddler. I have this muddler which has got a little bit tipsy-turvy side, so that the lime or any citrus fruits or they can be crushed easily. We already talked about the wine opener. Then we have bar blade is something that is attached to your wine opener. This is used for opening up of your metal clip that is on the top of the wine bottle. Then you have a rimmer. Rimmer has got three parts. One is your sponge that is kept moist with lemon juice or water. Then one part consists of sugar and one salt. So you have to be very cautious when you're using the rimmer. It may so happen during the rush hour that if you're required to rim using salt, you might end up using sugar if it is not possible for you to open if you don't remember. Anyways, the lemon squeeze, mainly stainless steel ones are used, so it's sturdy and it helps to crush your citrus fruits. Next we come to the types of cocktails. There was some good news from Zoom side that we can continue with this meeting. So I'm not going to be sending you a link for the second session. We will continue with that. But before that, let us see if anybody of you has got any questions. You can raise your hand if you have something to ask. Yes. Should I unmute? Nobody is asking anything. Hopefully everybody is clear with this. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Just a second. Yes, Tapesh, you're unmute now.
So actually, I just wanted to ask, as I was not able to cover the topic, so what is the difference between the crushed ice and the shaved ice, as you mentioned?
See, ice, as of which is used in the bar, it consists of three types. One is shaved ice, one is crushed ice, and one is cube ice. Crushed ice, it's going to be very, very small crystals. I'm using the word crystals. Or shaved ice. How to explain shaved ice? Shaved ice. आपने बर्फ गोला खाया है?
Yes, sir.
बर्फ गोला जो है ना, वो आपका shaved ice से बनता है, crushed ice से नहीं बनता.
Okay, sir.
Yeah?
Okay, got it, sir.
Anybody else? So we move ahead. So type of cocktails. Cocktails are defined depending upon one of the following criteria: history and background, look and the glassware used, and the preparation process. Okay. And the type of cocktails, history and background. If we are talking about the first type was history and background. And they are defined also known as classic cocktails. Standard recipe which has a specified base. The recipe remains the same, but measures may vary depending upon the country and the consumer preference. Let's take an example. John Collins. John Collins, if we talk of John Collins, normal definition for John Collins is, if you want to remember what John Collins is, it is whiskey with fresh lime soda, sweet. Very easy to remember. And Tom Collins changed the whiskey with gin. So John Collins' recipe is 60 ml of whiskey, fresh lime soda, fresh lime 15 ml, 30 ml sugar syrup, and top it up with soda. Now John Collins, whether you are making it in India, you make it in US, you make it in Europe, you make it in any country, the recipe, the basic ingredients are going to remain the same. The measures can be 45 ml, 30 ml, 25 ml, 60 ml depending upon the country's laws and whatever we are talking about. If we talk of Bloody Mary, it is going to be a tomato-based drink along with vodka. And the how to remember what is Bloody Mary? Vodka with tomato juice and the accompaniments that go along with tomato juice. Got it? Okay. Next is contemporary or innovative cocktails. A cocktail which can be innovated from a bar, gain popularity and end up becoming a classic cocktail. For example, a Cosmopolitan, a very famous gin-based cocktail. Most of the time, contemporary cocktails are only available in particular countries or bars and remain as the bar's signature cocktail. Like if you happen to go to Cuba, their mojitos are very famous and the pouring brand is Havana Club, which is an example of a white rum. So if you happen to go on YouTube or maybe there are certain programs on TLC or History TV 18 where cocktails or beverages are being told how they are being used and made, you will come across many such incidents or examples that may end up in the you may end up liking. Type of cocktails. You can write this down if you want to with the the cocktails that are named after the look and the glassware. Tall drinks, a drink usually made in a Collins or a zombie glass by either shaking, pouring or blending. Anything can be used. Example is your Long Island iced tea. Long Island iced tea has normally roughly, this is a kind of a Collins, a bigger glass than this one is called a zombie. I would have shown it to you, but it's not available at the moment. Then you have on the rocks, again an old fashioned is going to be used. Black Russian, Rusty Nail, your whiskey based cocktails are going to be served in your on the rocks. Then you have straight up, a drink which is stirred or shaken and then poured into a cocktail or a martini glass. This is a martini glass, but if we talk of what is a cocktail glass, the base remains the same, the stem remains the same, but it is a little bit roundish. It's round in shape. So very similar to your martini glass, but a little bit roundish in shape. Examples are dry martini, Gibson, and many other drinks as such. Then you have short drinks. The drinks are made with ice in short glasses, not SHOT, but short, small glasses. Your Kaplaroshka, the one that is given over here, can go in an old-fashioned glass, or it can also go into a roly-poly. Shots. Normally 60 ml of the drink with 2 or more ingredients. They can be shaken, stirred, or built in a shot on a shooter glass. You have kamikazes, you have B-52, you have grasshoppers. There are loads and loads of shots that are actually gain prominence. Reason being, people love to binge drinking, and this is one thing that you can always have the different drinks being served. Then you have the type of cocktails depending upon the preparation process. The various processes that are used for making a cocktail is shaken, stirred, blended, built or layered. But shaken is, as the name suggests, it's either shaken in a Boston shaker or a you can say a Boston or a Hawaiian shaker. Then we have stirred drinks, where all the ingredients are poured over ice and mixed in a mixing glass and stirred, gently stirred or vigorously stirred, and strained into a cocktail or a shot glass. A martini goes in your, again, a martini glass with olives and a pig's tail. Pig's tail is garnish that is used making lemon wine. It has got nothing to do with the actual pig. And then we have blended, the blended drinks, a drink where all the ingredients are poured into a blender along with ice and blended together. Blending के लिए आपको एक चीज का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. Only those drinks that are not easily mixed either by either of the processes such as stirring or shaking or built or layered are blended, so that they can be they can make a cohesion and can be used or can be served accordingly. You have to be very careful while serving blended drinks. Let's take the example of Pina Colada. Pina Colada uses coconut cream. You have to give short blends, short but vigorous blends. If you blend it for a long time, the coconut cream is going to curdle. So you have to be very cautious. And these things you will come to realize about these things when you're going to be working or when you gain experience. Your frozen daiquiris. Daiquiri is a drum-based cocktail which has fruits and sugar syrup and lemon added to it. Very easy. The daiquiri is going to get the name from the fruit or the fruit liqueur that is being used. Like banana daiquiri, frozen, it's going to be frozen. It is going to consist of rum, sugar syrup, lemon juice and banana, and it is going to be blended and served in a martini or a cocktail glass. Similarly, your different kind of daiquiris that come across is you can have mango daiquiris, you can have strawberry daiquiris, and the list can go on and on depending upon the soft fruits that are being used. Normally, tropical fruits are used for the preparation. Normally, but not always. Normally, usually, are used for the preparation of daiquiris, because rum and tropical fruits go very well hand in hand. Then you have built and layered, a drink where the process involves a lot of ice in a glass and pouring the ingredients in the standard format. Your Singapore sling, your Tom Collins. Tom Collins is very similar to John Collins, only the base being gin. A layered drink is a drink in which each ingredient is allowed to float on top of the other, like Puse Cafe and B52. B52 consists of three of your liqueurs. One is Kalua, second is your Baileys, and the third one being Contru. Be very sure of using Contru and not any other triple sec. Only for one reason, because this drink is very much dependent upon the specific gravities of the different drinks being poured. The lower layer is going to be Kalua, the middle layer is going to be your Baileys, and the third layer is going to be Contru. So if you're using triple sec, what will happen? You will first pour Kalua, then your Baileys, and if you start pouring your triple sec instead of Contru, the triple sec is going to go and stay towards the bottom of the base. Next is your Collins. A drink always served in a Collins glass, usually made with the built-up method. Again, Tom Collins, John Collins. The glass, long glasses. The glasses also got its name from this drink. Then we have flips, a drink which always has egg yolk as its ingredient and always shaken. Considered by some as a ladies' drink, it is not very popular in because people don't necessarily like to consume raw eggs. Example of a flip can be, here it's given sherry flip and a port flip. Again, fortified wines are being used for the preparation. But if you ask me, golden fizz can also be termed as a flip. It consists of gin, sugar, lemon, and an egg yolk, and topped up with sodas. So it's a sort of a flip. But you have to be very, very sure about serving these kind of drinks to anyone, because people don't necessarily like to consume raw foods, and because of this epidemic that has come off late, you have to be very cautious about serving this thing, and you have to tell the guests consumption of raw foods can be injurious also. So it's not suggested to any bartender to push these things in present situations. Then you have SARS. Very simple. A SAR mix is going to consist of 1 egg, 15 ml of sugar, 15 ml of fresh lime juice. And you add the base, shake it with ice, and you get your SARS. You can have whiskey SAR, you can have amaretto, again a liqueur, you can use a rum, you can use any spirit as such, but the sour mix remains the same. And then you have fizzes, the one we were talking of, a drink which has egg white and always topped with aerated water. Gin fizz, also known as two types of fizz in gin. One is silver fizz, one is gin fizz. Egg white, silver fizz, egg yolk, golden fizz. And then you have, we continue with that, coladas, a drink which always has coconut and pineapple base. So the colada mix is going to consist of your coconut cream, your pineapple juice, fresh lime juice, and sugar syrup. This is going to be a colada mix. Pina colada, it's going to have a rum in it. Normally coladas are going to have rum because if you talk of the coladas, all the ingredients, your pineapples, your coconuts are tropical fruits. And the rum is a tropical beverage also. So preferably rum is used for the preparation of pina colada. Another example goes into a tall glass, but there are certain innovative bartenders that are going serving it in coconut shell, and by emptying the core of the pineapple also, these drinks are being served in that. But again, the costing will go up. The person who is consuming, he has to bear the cost anyways. Then you have frozen drinks, a drink which has a standard recipe and usually blended with a lot of cube and crushed ice in order to get a slushy drink, frozen margaritas and daiquiris. So anything that is, I think this is self-explanatory. Had we been in college, we would have done some frozen drinks and the drinks that are in your syllabus also. Then you have dessert drinks, a drink which has got any cream liqueur as its base, like creamy liquor as its base, like King Alfonso. It has Kahlua with cream. And then you have, in fact, if you ask me, any drink, your Baileys is also a dessert drink if it is served as a after the dinner on crushed ice. One of my favorite is serving whiskey with your Bailey's Irish cream. This is again another after dinner drink. This can be termed. Then we have hot toddies. Toddy is a drink which is always served hot and could be could have soup or a stock or hot coffees and tea as the main ingredients. In the alcoholic, you have Irish coffees, hot buttered rum. Then there are toddies in which you have various concoctions like honey. You have lemon with the lemon shell. You have cinnamon added to it, and the base can be either rum or whiskey or brandies, anything. Anyways. Now we come to the important. Let's wait for some questions. Any questions? You can raise your hand. I'm unmuting you. Can you move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nobody has anything to ask?
No, sir.
Tanish, you are unmute.
So what is silver fizz?
Silver fizz, it's a cocktail, gin-based cocktail, but you go through your syllabus. Yeah, it's going to be part of your assignment also. See, silver fizz, now you have asked, I'll tell you the recipe. It has got gin, egg white, with your sugar syrup and lemon. So this is shaken and strained in a glass and topped up with soda. So this is your, what you say, silver fizz. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any question?
No, sir. Done.
Anybody else? You can raise your hand if you have something to ask. Okay. Shall we move ahead? Questions? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Lakshit.
Sir, I just wanted to know that can we use two kind of alcohol in only one drink?
You can use as many number of alcohols in one drink. If you remember the definition that we were discussing in the very beginning,
Yes, sir.
it said only one drink has to be alcoholic, but you can use as many drinks as you want. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Faujdar, you're on mute. You can ask your question.
Sir, what is the difference between build-up cocktail and layered cocktail?
See, a very good question. In fact, I was going to ask you this one. A built cocktail is a cocktail which has got all the ingredients added and it can be stirred also. But a layered cocktail is going to be made using only alcoholic beverages that have different specific gravity so that they stay on one on the top of the other. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's take the example of Long Island iced tea. I think this is going to answer Lakshit's question also. Long Island iced tea has got 5 spirits, 5 different white spirits. So how you
Yes,
go
sir.
about it is you take a glass, you fill it up with ice, you put lemon juice, sugar syrup, and 5 different alcohols, white alcohols, which is rum, gin, vodka, tequila, and contru or triple sec into it. Top it up with Coke, and you stir it, squeeze lime, and drop shell as the main ingredient, as the garnish. So this is an example of built drink. Because one after the other ingredient is poured into the drink, stirred and then consumed. But when we talk of your layered drink, like your Puse cafes, it has got, the glass is also different. But if you, I'm taking the example of B52. 20 ml of Kalua, after that 20 ml of Baileys, and 20 ml of Contru on the top. So
Yes, sir.
the layers are going to be different. The guest can consume it in one go. He has the choice to stir it also. But if it is going into a short glass, it is supposed to be consumed in one go. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Any other question? Anybody else? Please raise your hand. Okay. Shall we move ahead? Okay. So we come to the importance of measures. We were talking of recipes. We are talking of a lot of things that are related to cocktails. Now we come to the importance of measures. A cocktail is only going to be made if the measures are proper. So to get a drink which has a perfect base, a perfect body, and a perfect taste, the measure is very important. The reason we measure a drink is that we always get a consistent flavor every time, and also follow standard format for all bartenders in particular. Maybe I'm working on the bar, maybe Faujdar is working on the bar, maybe Tanish is working on the bar. It shouldn't be like that. If we are making one drink, I'm making Bloody Mary, all of us are making Bloody Mary, but the Bloody Mary that is coming out of my hands is different from the Bloody Mary being made from others. So if the standardization is there, that is the reason that we are using standard measures, 30 ml, 60 ml, 45 ml, so that it is easily calculated. It is also helpful for us to manage our bar operations properly so that we know what is being used where. And if one bottle is going to give us that many number of drinks, whether it is Faujdar who is using that bottle or Sanjeev Puri who is using that bottle, it is always going to be suggested that 25 drinks of 30 ml are going to come out of a 750 ml bottle. It is always going to be that. Clear? Then standardize a drink in the bar. Examples from bars have 45 ml as the standard measure of alcohol in a drink, some have 60, some have 90. Based upon this measure, we formulate the alcoholic ingredients such as a margarita with table alcohol or and these definitions can be different for different bars depending upon the SOPs being followed by that particular organization. If somebody has got any questions and we are not able to ask him or her, you can do one thing, you can WhatsApp the questions on the group. I am going through the group also. If there is any question or doubt that comes to you, please let me know. Third year, okay. Okay. Standardization also helps in control. When we have a standard measure for each cocktail, it helps us to know the consumption of alcohol in any form at the end of the day. And this enables us to get our beverage cost in place. Next slide. See, if you are able to make any beverage, any cocktail, if the presentation is not right, you will not be able to give a standardized and an appealing drink that is going to be sold. So when we're talking of the presentation of the drinks, the following things should be kept in mind. One is the color of the drink should be appealing to make the guest want to drink. Appropriate glassware. Martini is to be served in a martini glass. It can't be served in, let's say, an old-fashioned or a margarita glass. The glassware has to be standardized. We do not use garnishes which are not edible. Very, very important. We have a habit of using straws, or we have a habit of using toothpicks. We have a habit of using umbrellas. They are not suggested. The garnish should have some relation with the ingredient of the drink. After this, it is up to your creativity, whatever garnish you want to use for a cocktail. Pina Colada is going to have a, when you talk of it, pineapple stick as a garnish. Pineapple stick is always going to be there. You can't change it because it is a classic cocktail. If you're creating your own cocktail, then you should make sure that the name has some relation to either the ingredients, color, or the taste. Creating your own drinks, need the passion and research, understanding customers' taste and profile. Imagine and taste, use the garnishes and seasonal ingredients, because when you're using a garnish, you shouldn't write for something that is not available easily. Because one day using one garnish, second day you're going to change the garnish, it is going to be very, very tough. Clear? Then need of innovative receptacles. Whatever you're going to make, it should be accepted by the customer as such. Okay, any questions? I'll just go back to anybody who has got any questions. If you ask me, we are through with today's topic. And if you have any questions, you can ask, raise your hand, or we can use WhatsApp also to for the questions. Yes. Tell me. Clear? I am unmuting all of you. Raise your hand to ask your questions. Okay. And now it is my say time to give you questions, and this assignment has to be done. As most of you don't have any questions, so it gives me an impression that everybody has understood. Okay, so here we go. You can take a screenshot of this assignment, or I'll do one thing, I'll put the screenshot on the group as well. The first assignment being enumerate and explain the various bar equipment. Write down the recipes of 36 cocktails as defined in the syllabus. Why is it important for any bar to have standard measures for drinks to be served? What are the points that you keep in mind while presenting drinks? And you have to differentiate between dry martini and a dry martini dry. So here we go. I'm unmuting all of you. There is something. You want to ask something? There's some chat window also that is open. Chat. You are free to ask anything if you have any doubts. Shika.
So where do we have to do these questions?
Just a second. Akshika, you're unmute now. Yes.
So where do
Your
we have
question,
to do? Where do we have to do? Like note down this question? Journal.
Your choice. I want the assignment to be done. That's about it.
Okay, sir.
Anything else? Anything else?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you.
Pooja. Yes. Yes, Pooja, you're
Hello.
unmute. Yeah.
Sir, actually, we've written the cocktails in journal as Shanigi sir has told. So again, we are supposed to write it.
लिख लिया, well and good. और हो गया, उससे ज्यादा तो आप दोबारा से करके क्या करोगे?
Okay. Thank you, sir. This much only.
Okay. Anybody else? Raise your hand, please, if anybody has got any questions. I think so. That's about it.